Busy, but for anyone who manages to get on and check out the stream, thanks a lot for stopping by. Um, I'm going to be streaming some Marvel Strike Force right here. Let me just go ahead and make this full screen here. Here we go. All right. Unfortunately, we did lose our last Alliance War. It happens. I did make MVP, however. Thunder Brawl is my account. Eventually, I'm going to create some overlays and stuff to reflect that, but just so you know, that is me. What do we got here today? Login rewards. We've got 5 shards of Deadpool, which I don't really need. 5 shards of Groot, which I don't need. America Chavez. And some orbs, that's fine. We got some daily orbs here. Today we're going to do a little raiding and some blitzing and some arena and see where the day takes us. Okay, farm our serendipity event here. Getting those orbs for Domino. X-Force is obviously the most recent addition to the game. Everyone's very excited about those characters now being a part of the game. So not too shabby for a defeat reward based on our bracket. Oh, Father's Day gift. That's fun. Don't mind if I do. What do we got here? Yep, get my over shards because we're full on that. Let's see, do we need this? Yes. Buy that. I do need Tachyon conductors and Omniamore. And that pretty much wipes out my gold stores, but that's fine. Oh, let's do some orbs. Let's open some Blitz orbs here. See what we get. Not bad, Miles. Let's see. Spidey, don't need it. Got him at 7 stars already. Who else do we got? Luke Cage, got him at 7 stars already. We're getting some gold though, that's fine. It's still progress. Okay. I'm really hoping for Rescue. That's who I want to get out of these shards. Ant-Man. Not really usable in any of my teams. Alright, I'll take Hydra support. It's not bad. A thing, fine. Okay, Kree Royal, alright. Not bad, Royal Guard. Ant-Man again, no thank you. Strike. Alright, that's it for now. We're gonna stop opening those for now. Get a bunch of Ultimus Orb Shards is not bad. Raid store. Not going to pick up anybody right now from Raid. I'm primarily farming Thor from my Asgardians team because I'm trying to get them up to snuff. So that's really my primary goal here. Maybe I'll get... yeah, you know what? I'll pick up some damage catalysts. Do I want this? Yeah, why not? Pick up some of that at least. And then I don't have any arena tickets right now, but right now I'm farming Heimdall again because my focus right now is Asgardians. We're doing alright on the esoteric glyphs, which I will need for Asgardians, but I have plenty of those. And I don't have enough of the red star currency, so we're going to close that. Let's look at our milestones here. We got a bunch of high roller milestone rewards. We've got some World Warrior rewards. We'll probably get some more of those from what we're doing today. Challenges. Gold. There we go. That's what I like. Not bad. Training day. Fortunately, I'm not able to 3-star. We can try it. Well, while you guys are watching, we can try it. Let's see. Only cosmic characters. Who do I want to use? I'm going to drop him or her. And let's drop... We don't need the taunt. Let's drop Drax for Min, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw Min next to Star-Lord for the energy. You know, my rocket is powerful, but I actually am debating using Captain Marvel or Thor. I think I'm going to throw Thor in. The question is, do I want to keep Star-Lord, or should I throw in Captain Marvel? I think I'm going to go Captain Marvel, actually. So you've got Thor, Hela, and Captain Marvel who self-heal. You've got Mantis just to try to save people and get around heal block, and you've got obviously Minerva because of her strong healing ability that gets around heal block and her percent damage to enemies. So let's go ahead and try this and see how we do. So I think my first priority here is going to be, let's go for Iron Man first. And let's actually speed this up to ×2. Use Hela's ult, trying to throw damage on everybody here. That's not bad. Alright, good. I was hoping that would take Iron Man out. Alright, so now we're gonna throw Thor special on Crossbones. Got rid of Black Widow through lead is not bad. We're gonna go ahead and use this. That percent damage and just heal everybody along with it. Again, we're still focusing on Crossbones right now because I want to avoid that AoE. And that will take him out. Perfect. Alright, so next up we're going to try to take out Vision. I really don't need to use Mantis' healing ability right now because everybody's full, so she'll just basic attack, take out Vision. That works. And there goes Elektra. Alright, so now out of this group, I'm really not terribly worried about any of them, but I'm going to focus actually on Hawkeye because I'm worried about him blinding us and preventing us from doing widespread damage. And that should do it. Yep, there you go. Good. Next up, I'm going to focus on Deadpool because I want to get around his single target delete, basically. Bam. Not bad damage. I forgot about the hand. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I'm just going to base attack the hand. And another charge on Captain Marvel. Do I want to try to... go for that. And then self-sacrifice there. Oh, dodged it. The bleed should kill him though. And then we'll focus back on Deadpool again. Alright, whatever. It's fine. Nice shot on Deadpool from Captain Marvel. Another base attack, because we really don't need to do anything else. And then Cable will fall relatively quickly here. Nice. Not bad. I underestimated myself. I was able to do it. Look at that. Why don't we go ahead and try for the higher one, seeing how well we did. Tier 11. Recommend. Squad level 71. Not a problem. Gear tier 13. Most of them are. Not all of them are. Red stars 4 or more. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see. I believe. I'm excited about it. Go ahead and resize this here so I can see chat better. Okay. So, my first target's gonna, after Drax, will likely be Invisible Woman. But then usually I'll focus Ghost Rider just because I don't like his revenge abilities. Drax hard with Captain Marvel's ultimate. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the percent damage from Minerva. AoE for Hela, and then I'll wipe out Drax. So now we can shift our focus to Invisible Woman. Nice. I'm glad we dropped Mordo with that too. I actually wasn't expecting it to do that, so that was nice. Bam, we got a stun on Invisible Woman, which is good. Self-heal from Hela. Nice shot from Thor. Thanks, that was more damage than I was hoping to see Mantis take. Ah! Alright, fine. However, we got the Resurrect from Minerva, which is nice. Oof. Again, like I said, that ability from Ghost Rider I don't like, so he's my next target here. Trying to wipe him out before he does any more damage. We're going to use the heal all from Mantis just to top everybody off a little bit. Some strong basic attacks from Thor and Captain Marvel. I'm hoping the bleed's going to get him. So I'm going to pivot to Elsa, but yeah, good. Whew. Was not actually sure that was going to go through. We got it. Assuming Minerva doesn't drop before Mantis' turn, we're going to use the health transfer to get her back where she needs to be. Ah! That's unfortunate. Now we can't 3-star this. Okay. We will heal Thor instead. Thor's going to use his AoE. Remove the thing. It's a little basic Elsa. And then again, focus on Ghost Rider. We lost somebody else. Damn. Okay. I don't love that. Woof. I am concerned now. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. Damn. Alright, at least we can learn from that moving forward. In the meantime, I now have a higher node to farm, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and auto-win this node for the rewards so we can move on. Ability enhancements, that's right, it's Sunday, so it's challenge day for everything. I already know, I tried this the other day, I'm not ready for tier 11 on this, but we'll go ahead and we'll auto-win tier 10 here. We're gonna auto-win tier 11 here. I'm really happy that they added these red star, 4-star orbs to the challenge because that's been helpful to me so far. Catalyst of Change, again tier 9 on this one, that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and auto-win that for rewards. Right, let's check what we got here. Let's open a premium orb, see what we got. Alright, not bad, Karnak. I'm only 6 away from advancing him to the next star. Another basic orb. And Gamora's a throwaway for me, she's already at 7 stars. Blitz orb. Let's hope we get big money here. It's something. Milestone orb. Okay, a monstrosity, I'll take that. And then collect that, that's fine. I think we got another blitz. Oh, we got one of these. So, I'm gonna take the Mystic Gear orb just because, as I mentioned previously, I'm trying to level up my Asgardians at this point, so that will be useful. And then a Blu-ray Gear orb. Cool. I really don't need any blue materials anymore, so that's sort of a throwaway, but it's there, so we open it. That's fine. Cool. Alright, now we're going to farm some campaign nodes. So right now I'm farming Colossus still, trying to get him to 7 stars. So we'll auto-win his nodes. Okay. We got some nice gold material, some T4 material also. I'm farming Hela. I've got her at 4 red stars. I really want to get her 5th yellow star for the upcoming Black Bolt event in August, so she's a primary farm for me. We're going to go ahead and auto-win here. Yeah, we need more campaign energy. 2 shards. We're going to refresh the node. We're going to renew our... Oh, we're just shy. You know what? I'll come back to her, because what we can do is we can get some orbs by... some power cores by doing some other stuff. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some power cores and then hit her node again. Milestones. See, that just got us some power cores right there. But we're going to go ahead and do an arena battle. So my current arena rank is 308. I've fallen recently in the last month and a half, really. I was averaging about 150, and I recently dropped to 300. We're going to see if we can't climb back a little bit. Not a lot of desirable teams to throw up against. I would easily throw in against these defenders, but it's not much of a rank increase. I'm thinking about throwing up against this group. I think I'm going to. We're going to go ahead and use our X-Men team because I can punch up pretty significantly with that team. So let's try that and see how we do. Okay, so I'm gonna make my first target Scientist Supreme because she's got a revive in addition to her heal and some of her other nasty abilities. We're gonna go ahead and stealth our teammates here. I'm gonna try to build up some stacks on Storm, so we're just gonna do a basic attack. You can use this. Alright, fine. I was hoping that would put the taunt on Scientist Supreme, but it did not. Here we go, not bad. I really want to take out Scientist Supreme first if I can. I know it's not easy, but they still haven't taken Phoenix down through the darkness. That's about to happen now. They wiped out Cyclops. That may have actually, as silly as it sounds like that's all it takes, that may have lost me this fight. That's a powerful combo, by the way. Scientist Supreme with Rocket to give the enemy team defense down and then just pound them with his ult. Yeah, I think I've lost this. Although, I should wipe out everyone but Ultron? Alright, maybe not. Here goes Rocket. Yeah, I know all about it, bud. Alright, it happens. Unfortunately, in my bracket, I'm underpowered these days. I used to be sitting at the top of the power rankings, and now, in recent weeks, I've fallen down, so we're gonna keep at it. We will climb back up, I don't doubt it, but we're gonna have to level some stuff up. That's part of why I've been focusing on Asgardians, because I know it's gonna give me a really strong arena team. We're gonna do a couple blitzes, just to try to do my daily, not because I'm aggressively trying to place higher on this one. Use our X-Men again. And I'm just going to auto-fight this one out because this shouldn't be a problem in Blitz. We've got to make sure we kill Domino before Deadpool. For those of you that don't know or are new to the game, Domino and Deadpool have a synergy where if Domino is alive and Deadpool dies, Deadpool has a 100% chance of reviving at 80% of his health, which is the best synergy in the game right now. So, once Domino's dead, that's no longer an issue. So we just have to make sure, there we go. We kill her and then Deadpool will fall easily. One thing I do like in the auto fight functionality is that I can still, we'll even increase the speed here. I can still select targets while in auto fight mode. I just have to click the target, and they'll continue to self-select their abilities, but I can guide the targets. So that's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and select another team. Let's use Power Armor. I've got Ironheart on the Power Armor team now. Finally got her to Vision's old power, so I was able to swap them. Let's find the Power Armor versus Power Armor. Power Armor versus Power Armor, and is that Sabretooth? It's an interesting choice. I'm intrigued. I'm gonna throw myself against them. See how we do. I always focus on War Machine first because his constant AoE potential is just brutal. His damage is so high. Alright, we got got defense down and lost it immediately from Barrier's cleanse. Damn. Not on my A game today, guys. Oh, Sen Raven, raiding with people. Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely, that is awesome. Right now I'm doing some blitzing, but if any of you guys want me to play another mode or show you something else, we are going to be jumping into an Ultimates raid in a little bit, right after this. I'm going to go ahead and use my Asgardians here. Thanks for stopping by, though, especially on Father's Day. It's a nice little treat. I only recently started to stream Marvel Strike Force, so if there's anything you guys want to see, please definitely drop me a line, let me know. Toad. I'd also love to hear people's takes on X-Force, if you guys have used them at all. What you think. I have sort of mixed feelings. I think they're specifically very strong in war offense, but I don't see myself using them much outside of that. This should be an easier blitz win using the Asgardians. I love the transformation of Thor from a bottom tier character to an A-team listed character. It's very cathartic for me. I've always been an Asgardian fan. Nice. Alright, easy blitz win gets us our daily done. Nice. And as I said, I've already unlocked Ironheart, so it's less of a push for me. I'm not going to be able to increase her star value from this, so I'm not spending much in the way of resources to push my blitz rank terribly high for this one. I typically save those resources to focus on new characters I haven't unlocked yet as they come around and blitz. Alright, let's go ahead. We're going to make our alliance donation for the day quick, and then we're going to jump into raids. By the way, I am part of the Rage Kick Incorporated Alliance, great group of people. Sylvester, how long have I been playing? So I've been playing for about 2 years, roughly. And I've been with the Alliance that entire time. Alright, so we finished on the daily objective. Total collection power. I will show you guys my total collection power. See here. Total collection power, a little over 4 million. My strongest team power is, I want to say 430 something. It's my my defenders as a carryover. I power leveled them back when they were a top team. Now, unfortunately, they've fallen to the lower end of mid-tier team, but I could show you them quick. Let's go here. So, 422, 715. So my defenders are my highest power team, just as sort of a relic. My X-Men I focused a lot on. This is my Ultimate 7 team here at 303. I've been focusing on getting them up and maxing them out. And then very recently I started focusing on bringing my Asgardians up to snuff. Primarily right now because of the upcoming Black Bolt event scheduled for August. But then also just because Asgardians are a top tier team, they're useful to have in war, they're useful to have an arena, so I'm trying to bring them up more. Sif right now is going to be my most difficult barrier to getting Black Bolt because I'm farming Hela. I'm not worried about having enough time to farm her to her 5th star, but Sif I have to wait for her to show up in the war store. Honestly, I may even, I'm sure they'll do deals, Fox Next, before Black Bolt comes around. Depending on how close I am, I may actually toss in a tiny bit of money to pick up some shards of her to just make sure I don't miss the event again. Yeah, Black Bolt is so good, he really is. And unfortunately now he's also a barrier to completing the Black Order, which stinks. I get it, given how powerful Ultimus and what's his name? Thanos. Given how powerful Thanos is, I understand why they made a legendary barrier to completing the Black Order team. But it is a little frustrating for those of us who haven't unlocked him that now, you know, we're scrambling to try to complete a roster of a top tier team to get to a legendary, to then use that legendary and his team to try to get to Ebony Maw, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, so let's jump into a raid here. Today we're doing Ultimate 6. We actually typically do Ultimate 7 on the weekends, on Saturday nights, but because of Father's Day and scheduling stuff, we ended up doing Ultimate 7 on Friday. We're currently doing Ultimate 7 on standard difficulty and hitting 30% regularly. We're slowly trying to work our way up to 60%, but we do have some newer players in the Alliance who have only been in literally for like a month or two. So unfortunately that's been a barrier for us. So they still participate, they get rewards, and we will occasionally run Ultimus 4s. We actually are doing that right now. We run them in addition to Ultimus 6 to give them blue mats primarily to help them catch up with everybody, which they're making major strides. I mean, I think their total collection power increases by like 30 to 50,000 every week, which isn't bad. And we track their progress and help them out, and we're one big happy family in this alliance. Let me take that milestone here. So yeah, we all have assigned lanes and stuff, as most alliances do. So we actually already hit 60% here. Again, as I mentioned, we have new people, so we will not hit 100%. And then in Ultimus 4, let's see how we're doing there. We're almost at 60% in the Ult 4 for them anyway. And you can see not everyone in the Alliance participates in this. It's really just reserved for the lower level members to get their stuff. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the Ultimus 6 here. We have another 3 hours left, so this is my lane here. We're going to hit the next node. And I use the same team for Ultimus 6 as I do for Ultimus 7, which it's this team. Honestly, for Ultimus 7, the majority of teams, everyone says the 2 that are like non-negotiable, really 3 that are non-negotiable if you have Ultron, are Ultron, Minerva, and Scientist Supreme. The combo is just fantastic. You get some flex on the remaining 2 positions. I like Shuri for the additional sustain. It does make for a long node challenge, but I find that it keeps the team viable later into the raid. And then for a while I was using Falcon for the speed up, but I actually find that I clear the nodes faster using Hela because of her higher damage output. And again, it adds for the sustain with her self-heal and her survivability. Yeah, Shara, the Black Bolt event is coming back around in August, so definitely, I'm glad that you're going to be ready for it. That is super exciting. Got this little art of the Black Order here. Such a strong team. I don't know if anyone's watched like dev streams and stuff or popular streamers using them, but the Black Order team, when you've gotten them all and you can get the empowered Thanos, is just, if used correctly, if people understand the strategies, it's really unbeatable right now. It's so difficult to beat. You have a chance of beating them under specific circumstances like in war. Again, this team is overpowered for Ult 6, so I'm just going to auto-fight this. I'm not really worried about it. At most, I'll guide their targets as we go. Again, I like to target characters that can resurrect before I target other people. I then will target either characters that have really high single target damage that can overwhelm the sustain of the team. Characters that have strong AoE potential that could make it so that single target heals are less effective, or characters that put debuffs like defense down or something on the team that will make it that they'll get overwhelmed and the healing engine won't be able to keep them up. So like in this case, Mordo is actually going to be my target because of his heal block. Even though Minerva can get around the heal block, I just prefer not to deprive the other healers. In the Alliance here, you can see Mariachi Vengador just got Gear Tier 12 for Thor, so congratulations to Mariachi. And I'm Batman got Gear Tier 11 for Cyclops, so congrats to I'm Batman as well. Love seeing my Alliance members growing in power. So many people on the field. Between Ultimus and Hela, it's a very crowded field. Bam. And like I said, really easy, clear, plenty of time on the clock. Not worried about it. That becomes a little more hectic when running through Ult 7. So when I challenge Ult 7 with that team, you don't have the time to not auto it. But what I recommend doing and what I do, hey, Mr. Zilio, welcome to the stream. Glad you could stop by. What I'll do for Ult 7 as opposed to Ult 6 is I'll start on auto, and then when there's like 4 or 5 enemies left, then I'll take it off auto and I'll manually fight the rest just to make sure that my cooldowns are ready for the next node. But for Ultimus 6, because this is a punch down for a couple of us, I just auto straight through it. I'm one of the top 3 power players in my alliance, so sometimes it'll seem like we're not challenging ourselves with the Ult 7, but again, as I mentioned, we've got some people who are still coming up through the ranks, and we want to make sure that we don't hinder their process. Mr. Zillius says trying to clear FTD. Very cool. So what Fear the Darkness team are you using to do that? Mr. Zilio. I did it with Defenders, which was the longest and most frustrating experience in MSF. Groot, Rocket, Minerva, Star-Lord, and Invisible Woman. That's a good combo. See, Minerva is great for doing Fear the Darkness, for those of you that don't know, because of her percent damage, right? So Fear the Darkness, the enemies are all very high power level, have a lot of health, and a lot of survivability. So being able to do the percent damage is a really, really huge benefit. Unfortunately, when I did it, quite some time ago. My Minerva was not up to snuff to be able to do that. So, congrats to you, Mr. Zilio, for being in a position to use her. You will find it much less tedious than I did. I had to challenge every node multiple times to do it. But I do now have a 7-star Ultimus. I have cleared Fear the Darkness 2 twice already. I, however, cannot challenge Fear the Darkness 3 yet because I do not have enough Gear 14 characters. Cleared the whole thing fast. I've been stuck on the Ultron node. The Ultron node is tough. It really is tough. The best advice I could give you is really just focus on Ultron. I know it can be tough with, you know, all the minions and the damage they put out, but just keep slapping Ultron. It'll take you a number of tries to challenge it to take it down, but that's how you're going to do it. Shara says, Minerva's my only Gear Tier 13 character. It's a good one to have. She's really, there's not a team I can think of that she is not a viable addition to. Even though she doesn't get the team synergy bonuses, it doesn't matter. She's just such a powerful overall character. There's a reason why during the recent Fox Next Awards that they gave her that award of, the best new additional last year or whatever it was. She deserved it, certainly. Challenge the next node here. Make short work of it. As you can see, this team isn't struggling at all. This is a good team, by the way, if you're going to farm something. This team is a super viable Ultron 7 team that also gets used, for example, in some of the Greek raids for cosmic nodes and stuff. You can use most of the characters. Because some of them are like Cosmic Global, and so like AIM is a global team, so you can use Scientist Supreme, Minerva's Cosmic, so like you get some flex there. And then for Ult 6, this team just blows everything away to decent power. And again, my team's power, for those of you that are just joining, is 303,000 overall power, so not even my highest power team, but I would argue, if not my strongest team, top 2 or top 3, certainly. Mr. Zilio says my Minerva's pretty weak, though. 3-star, 3 red star. Just, I know, unfortunately, she's not reliably farmable yet, so unfortunately you're going to have to get lucky or not with her, but certainly focus on her gear tiers. She's a good character to have, even if her star level isn't super high. She's just such a good character. And like I said, because she's dealing percent health damage, you don't have to worry as much that her stats aren't as high, because it's driven more by the strength of your opponent's that damage she's doing than anything else. And she's got a revive. I mean, having more than one character on a team, that's one of the things about this team I'm using, is Minerva has a revive and Scientist Supreme has a revive. That's really strong, because they could potentially bring each other back when they die. And in fact, that's happened to me numerous times through Ultimate 7. Shara says, need to figure out who else to get to Gear Tier 13 to take with her to Fear the Darkness 2. What are some characters you have on Gear Tier 12, Shara, that you might have an easier time of bringing there? Mr. Zillier says, just keep resetting. RNG is awful. Yes, sometimes Sometimes the RNG, most of the time I'd say the RNG is challenging. Sometimes I get really lucky. I had a really great incident in War, was it a week ago, I think, that I was using Guardians versus Guardians. My team was Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Drax, and Mantis. They had a similar team, except instead of Groot, they were using Gamora for the... That's not uncommon. They were going for the higher crit rate and sheer damage output. But I got super lucky. I prefer Groot because he's a hybrid character who provides a little bit of healing and some buffs, and a little bit of tauntiness. But what's great about him is if he dies, he buffs the entire team. And that's sort of a failsafe I use because I want to keep the more important characters on the team alive, like Mantis or Star-Lord or Rocket. But in addition, Groot has a chance to revive, and so it just broke perfectly the RNG that Groot had taunted, they burned through Groot quickly, Gamora crits and kills Groot, Groot buffs the whole team on death, and then revives. So now I have a fully taunted team, fully buffed team rather, and we just wiped out the enemy War Node, and that was an equal power team. And once he came back, that was it. I made short work of them. It wasn't even a challenge at that point. Shara says, just Nick Fury. A lot of my characters are GT11. So, you can use Nick Fury for Fear the Darkness, certainly. But if most of your characters are sitting around here, tier 11, I would suggest trying to build a team that you can use in addition to just Fear the Darkness. So, like for example, this team that I'm using is primarily my ult 7 team, but would still do awesome at clearing Fear the Darkness. In fact, I'm using this team to work on clearing Fear the Darkness to a third time, just for the giggles of it and for the profile portrait border. And I'm having a really, really easy time of it, much easier than the previous clear I had done of it. So I think that that's certainly something worth thinking about. Mr. Zilio says, almost have Phoenix to tier 13, might swap out Invisible Woman or Groot for her on a go. I would swap Groot over Invisible Woman. I think Invisible Woman you're going to get a lot more mileage out of. And in fact, talking about Ultimate 7 teams, Invisible Woman is a common swap for either what I have as Hela or Shuri in that spot. And in fact, some people prefer to focus heavily on sustain, and therefore would keep Shuri and Invisible Woman, and just really let Ultron do most of the talking as far as damage is concerned. Don't have Ultron. Yes, that is something that can be, I won't call it a problem, but certainly you would want Ultron on that team if you have him, but if you don't have him, there are substitutes. So I've seen, for example, Captain Marvel is a strong substitute for Ultron if you don't have him, providing a lot of damage output and a self-heal. Gonna go ahead and challenge our last node for now in Alt 6, and then move on from there. Yeah, keep the commentary and the questions going, guys. Happy to answer any questions you have. Looks like we've got 20 viewers right now. Hi, everybody. Glad you're sticking with us. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Hopefully for some of you who might be a little newer to the game, this is a little educational too. I love sharing any information I've gotten. Shara says, my Captain Marvel is a bit of a beast. I get that. That is a good description for Captain Marvel. She does a lot of damage. And honestly, I always love characters that have a strong AoE component in general. V-Raw says, just lurking and blitzing. I like it. Lurk away, man. Anytime. And please, guys, give a follow if you like what you're seeing. I'd love to see some familiar faces stopping by. I'm going to be streaming... I stream a bunch of things. I stream The Isle. I stream MSF. I stream a little bit of Raid Shadow Legends. thinking about adding some other stuff to that list, but I'm definitely planning to stream more Marvel Strike Force, and I will be setting up a schedule soon about what I'll be streaming and what days, so you guys can stop by reliably. I definitely plan on streaming the Ultimate 7 attempts that we're going to make. Xander NM, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. To any fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Man, I wish Minerva was in more orbs. So annoying, the only option is low RNG or $30 pack of 50 shards. Yeah, I get that. Honestly, personally, I'm surprised by how much time has gone by that they haven't added her. Unfortunately, I mean, look, this is still a business, right? And I get that she is a strong profit driver because people are willing to spend money on her, and so they don't want to give away the golden goose, and I get that. But it has been a long time. She is by no means a new character, and they still haven't added her, so that has been a little surprising. Or make more offers to buy. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm a little surprised. I was not surprised even, 6 months ago. I was like, alright, yeah. This is a reward for the people who... You want to incentivize people to spend money early when you want them to, and so you say, oh, you won't be able to get her for a while, but by now I am surprised they haven't made her more available. We're up to 24 viewers. Welcome to those of you who are just joining us. We've been doing some Ultima 6 raiding. I was just telling everyone we will be streaming the Ultima 7 raids starting next weekend. We're going to jump over to the Alpha. We're in Alpha 4. We're going to jump to the Alpha 4 raid. Bert43 says, need a ride offer like the Avengers offer earlier this week. For like newer players, you're saying. Yeah, I get you, Bert. Definitely. Oh, Shara says she was on screen. Yes, Shara's actually in the Rage Cake Incorporated Alliance. So she's part of the team here. I'm glad that she got featured here. That's fun. I don't disagree, Bert. I think it would be nice to put together like a Kree offer or something, especially because the Kree minions and stuff are... somebody else is asking my total collection power. You know what? I'll jump back to that and show you guys again. Here we go. My total collection power is 4.1 million. My strongest team power is 435 and change, which is actually my defenders from early in my my history. I've been playing this game for I want to say 2 years. I think I started in 2018. I think. We hit a milestone, obviously. You get that. Bang. Nice. Before I jump back into the raid, I'm actually just going to try farming some more Hellish Shards, because we were waiting to get some power cores for that. Okay. Nothing. Thank you. Speaking of RNG, Vral says, just so long as it's not the $100 Kree offer. Yeah, I don't disagree. But I think it would be nice to put Minerva, even if it's a smaller amount of shards, just to put Minerva in like a joint Kree offer, because the Kree minions are useful for unlocking Nick Fury, who... The SHIELD team is a mid-tier team at this point, and it's a team that you can farm relatively early. I think now that the game has been around for so long, we need to really focus, or rather the devs really need to focus on creating a more natural sort of progression from strong early tier teams to late tier teams, right? So like, defenders are not irrelevant at this point. They're just much stronger in the early game because they're one of the first teams that you can farm every character. And they're one of the only relevant teams that don't have a legendary component. So I think that there needs to be more natural progression of driving people instead of being like, all right, you're going to try to farm for teams that you can't possibly unlock until you're level 70. Instead, there should be more like conversation and streamlining in the game of like focus on getting the defenders, use the defenders to elevate yourself through the campaign and stuff, to then transition to challenging for those higher tier teams. And I don't think that's enough of a conversation. I don't think that's enough of a streamlined process. And I think they need to focus more on that. And I think one way they could do that is by focusing on putting Kree more easily into people's hands to get a shield team ultimately with Nick Fury. That'll allow them to move through the game into the later game and give them some Minervus that they have a strong character, even if she's only at a lower star value, to help start moving towards that later game progression. But I do like at least that they created that offer, by the way. Oh, you know what? We're going to level up Thor here. So we can do that. Bam. That damage, I like it. And we're going to equip. And now we have Thor at Gear Tier 13. Yes, it would be cool if she popped up in the alt orbs. So now Thor's power level is 53k. Let me see what that does to my... Bert says, agree, got lucky on Asgardian, only reason I've been able to progress. Yeah, the Asgardians are so good, and they are such a top tier team. And they're a top tier team, because look, some teams are specifically stronger in certain elements, such as war or raid or whatever. But the Asgardians are just such a solid all-around team. You can use them reliably in arena, you can use them reliably in blitz, you can use them reliably in raids, you can use them reliably in war. So they're a really great team to have if you've gotten lucky and have gotten some of the harder to farm characters for that reason. I'm actually going to go for a skill orb for, I believe, I have to double check before I tell you guys something that is not correct. Sif is skill. So I'm actually going to go for skill because I'm working on leveling Sif up right now to bring her in line with the others. So we're going to go to our orbs. We're going to go open up a purple skill orb here. And this is a throwaway, but again, you know what? I'm going to stop opening these. I'm going to save these for the next orb event, because I don't need them anyway, so I'm just going to use them as fodder. The Kid 710 in 229 days in... oh, you are 229 days in. You went Defenders into Asgards. You're only 2.4 million total collection power, but my Asgards are 389k. That's awesome. 389k Asgardians is really strong. And Hela is 100k. They got me Ultron and Black Bolt as my first legendaries. Going back now and working on the rest. Awesome. Happy for you, the kid. That is a great Asgardian team. What do we got here? Nothing I need right now from here. Okay. Alright, we're going to jump back into raids now. We're going to do the Alpha 4 here. Join this team here. We're a little unconventional with our Greek raids, as we call them. Our Ultimus raids, everyone in the Alliance does have assigned teams and lanes, but when we do our Greek raids, because of the restrictions, like, we don't know what people's power, like, we know what people's top power is and total collection power is. We track that. We have graphs and stuff like that, and spreadsheets, but we don't necessarily know, we don't spend the time going through and specifically saying, alright, well, who has Asgardians versus Defenders versus Shield? So, because of that, we don't know who's going to struggle the most on each team with the different restrictions from Alpha versus Beta versus Gamma raid. So, instead, people stick with their assigned teams from the Ultimus raids, but it's a free-for-all. You just tackle whatever nodes you think you can get the farthest doing. And we never have a problem hitting 60% on those doing that. So that's how we do things. I know a lot of alliances go through the time of specifically assigning lanes for the Greek raids also, but because we've never struggled with it and we still get where we need to go with it, that's just how we've chosen to do it more casually. I went in with a little bit of a wonky team. I was not even paying attention. Whoops. Let's see how we do. That's a fun little experiment. That will be kind of embarrassing if that doesn't work out. I think we're gonna be okay though. Still strong characters, and there is some synergy here, so we're okay. We haven't even lost Phoenix for Dark Phoenix, which is surprising. I want to go for Rocket after Groot. Really, I'm hoping that War Machine pops up and kills Rocket. Yes! Alright, good. I was worried that wasn't going to go through. Just because I didn't want Rocket to get buffs when Groot dropped. So does anybody have any fun plans today? There we go, yeah, we lost Phoenix to Dark Phoenix. It happens. It's fine. I typically don't use her for this raid anyway, so I'm not super worried about it, but we'll see how we do. There we go. It worked out. I'm not sad about how that worked out. Okay. So we can either go global or city. If we go city, it'll be a cakewalk for me because I'll just use my defenders, and they're very, very strong. The only reason I might not... No, there's only 2 hours left. I'm going to do that. I'm going to swing up this way and punch down with my defenders for some easy nodes. So we're going to go with our defenders over here. Bert says, nope, hang out and eat. Little MSF. Not a bad way to spend a day, Bert. Not a bad way. Shara says, going to my sister's for family dinner. Do you have any Father's Day plans? This morning, I spent the morning in the yard with my 2.5-year-old. We went in the baby pool and splashed around. And going to be doing a little grilling later and just hang out with my wife and my daughter and my dogs. It's not a bad way to spend the day. Just figured I'd do a little streaming today, which I'm glad I did. We got a whole bunch of viewers and people chatting. I love to see it, and I'm really happy. I see a bunch of new followers. VRAL's following. I apologize, I don't have the graphics and stuff for followers and stuff yet. It's a work in progress. But VRAL's following, which is awesome. Xander is following. Sylvester followed. Sen Raven followed. Really happy and glad that you guys are following, and looking forward to seeing you guys in the future and chat and stuff. Jar Jar says, plans for today playing MSF. DSA! I play DSA also! I don't know if you have a clan that you are happy about, but if so, we can talk about maybe me migrating over. If not, I have a little friends-only clan that you'd be welcome to join. And quitting Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I'll just say, I get it. I get it. I have a friend who plays Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes who is a top-tier player. Like, his alliance is, like, top 50 worldwide. Like, really, really into it. He streams it. He's a great streamer, too, if you guys want to follow him. His Twitch is Mr. Jigavachi. I play a little Galaxy of Heroes super casually. I don't like it as much as MSF for a number of reasons, which I would be happy to discuss if you guys want to hear more about it, but I get it. I get it. Bert, amazing how fun kiddie pools are. Yes, especially when the dogs get involved, it's hilarious. The dogs jump in the pool and they splash around, and it's a lot of fun. Listening to my daughter giggle like a maniac while the dogs shower us with water when they shake off and stuff. Jar Jar just started DSA about 4 days ago, so any help to start would be appreciated. Absolutely. So definitely, you know what? Look up, I think it's just Paleo Disney. Paleo Disney. I believe is the alliance name. If you just search for the clan name, if you just search for Paleo, you should be able to find it. My suggestion would be to focus on synergy. There's not a ton of it in the game yet. Disney Sorcerer's Arena is a relatively new game, so they're still working on adding a lot of characters and filling out teams, but the sooner you can get a team that synergizes, the better. What I will say is the Big Bad Wolf is an amazingly strong villains character who does an extra damage to heroes and has a huge crit, so focus on him. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about Disney right now in the stream, but I do plan on doing that as one of my days of streaming. I do plan on streaming Disney Sorcerer's Arena, so definitely stick around for more of that. But in the short term, Big Bad Wolf. Get Big Bad Wolf if you don't have him. Put all your energy into Big Bad Wolf because he does a ton of damage. There's Shara again. Shara's on Team 1, which is the team I'm actually a captain for my alliance. Again, that's Rage Cake Incorporated is my alliance. I am in charge of raid strategy and setting up the raid rosters. And I am also the team captain for Team 1. So each of our teams has a dedicated team captain. Shara is on my team. She is a valuable team member, and I am glad to have her in the alliance and on my team. A lot of people sticking around. Really happy at how we're doing on the stream right now, guys. Bert asked the question, what's the best way to find an alliance on MSF? Mine is okay, but only half active at any one time. Bert, I'm not gonna lie, right now our alliance is full, but there has been a member who has not been active. I can't talk about it much beyond that, but all I'm saying is if you're interested, stick around. Why don't you actually, anyone who wants to, I'll share my Discord information too. Always happy to talk about you guys if you have questions or stuff or want me to address stuff in a stream. So on Discord, if I can just find my information here. Where am I? Oh, maybe? Sorry guys, just trying to find my account here. I will post that. How very diplomatic, Sharon says. But we will talk about it. Bert, if you are interested, we will talk about it and see if we can't find you a position. Copied. Maybe this is it. Yes, it is. Awesome. That's my Discord. So if you guys want to add me on Discord, please do. Happy to talk to you guys anytime. And we do require our members join Discord because that's where we post our raid roster assignments and things like that. Still just punching our way through this. Alpha 4. Shara says, but hey, I may not be raid team captain, but I am an alliance captain. She is, and she's the war queen. She is the war queen. In fact, I think we didn't have like an official title for you, Shara, but I think now the war queen is your official title. I think that is a fitting title for you. But Bert, assuming we don't have a position, certain alliances, like One Way Our Alliance has gotten members in the past, has been when we actually fight somebody in a war. If somebody performs particularly well, we'll reach out to them and be like, hey, you know, maybe the rest of their alliance wasn't super active and didn't do much in the war and we beat them, but this one person was fighting hard, and we'll say, hey, it seems like your other members are asleep at the wheel. Are you looking for something? So basically, I guess what I'm saying is just like play your heart out, and you may get noticed. When we first started 2 years ago, when we weren't a full alliance, we used to actually recruit sometimes based on arena. So if we would come up against tough teams in the arena, or if someone would beat us in the arena, we would reach out to them individually and say, like, hey, it looks like you have a pulse. Would you like to join? Over time, the alliance has sort of just become a tighter group of people who just all know each other and have played together for a long time, so that happens sort of naturally. But when we first started 2 years ago, we weren't coming from another community. So I actually run the Paleo gaming community, but Rage Cake is a friend of our community. We play together on a lot of games now, but didn't come from that community, so we were just disparate elements that were brought together and just gelled, and you know, our personalities go together well, and we all care about doing well as a team, and it's awesome. Alright, this is going to be my last node for this Alt 6 here. Taskmaster. I'm not underwhelmed with Taskmaster, I'm just underwhelmed with the Mercenary team. I know that they're relevant now because of Taskmaster, but I don't feel it. Don't feel it. I'm also not going to lie, some of my team decisions are biased based on characters I love from the comic books, and I was never a huge Taskmaster person. Just was not. Can you guys relate to that? Are there any characters that just like, assuming they weren't complete trash, you would use them even if they aren't god tier, just because you really like the characters? Let's get some favorite characters. It can be because of the comics, or it can just be because you think they're amazing in game. Why don't we get some favorite characters in the stream chat here? Dark Ice Wave says Symbiote Spider-Man is my fave. I feel you. I see you and I feel you. What about the rest of you? No favorites? Shara says they don't have any of my favorite comic book characters. Interesting. Now I'm intrigued. I need to know, what are your favorites that they're missing? And we can take bets on if we think they're going to add them and or when. Alright, so that finishes up our alpha. Participation looks a little bit light for the alpha today, probably because of Father's Day. Shara's above me on the leaderboard. I don't believe it. Respect, Shara. Respect. Normally I sit in that #1 spot. That was surprising. Yeah, wow. I think the answer is I fell down on the ball a little bit for this one. Alt 7, I sit in this spot. This is my spot. I have, it's like dedicated parking. That's my spot for Alt 7. Shower says Rogue is my favorite. Okay. Alright, yeah. So that's actually a good point. I'm a little surprised that they haven't done Rogue yet. And I don't know if it's because they just haven't figured out what kind of a kit to give her. But when they did the big push and released Phoenix and released the X-Men, when everyone was talking about who they thought was going to be included, I was thinking Rogue. And they didn't, and I was surprised. But, I mean, Cyclops made perfect sense. Really glad they added Cyclops. Colossus, they had been talking about for a while because people were thinking he was going to be X-Men and X-Force, and he just ended up being X-Men. But I figured they might do Rogue also. But what I have heard is people are thinking at some point they may add Rogue and Gambit together, which makes sense. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Although having Captain Marvel might make her sort of redundant. I don't think so. So I think if they did Rogue, what I would like to see with Rogue is... And I wouldn't even think this was possible if not for what they did with Mr. Sinister. Rogue should have some sort of ability grab or something, right? So she should be a strong character, similar to like a Captain Marvel type character. but she should have some ability to either copy an enemy ability or something like that would be super cool. I don't know what the logistics of that would be, but because they have Mr. Sinister making clones of people, you already sort of have touched that territory a little bit. So I think if she would just have like one flexibility or something that she could steal another character's ability, that would be cool. And some sort of an ability energy drain. Yeah. You know, one thing that there's not a lot of yet in Strike Force is turn drain, right? So there's a couple of characters that give speed up or turn boost. There is some turning back the clock on turns that you get from characters, but it's infrequent, so she could have something like that. Dark Ice Wave says her ultimate will steal the other character's ultimate. How does that sound? Yeah, I could see something like that. Totally. Absolutely. I think that would be a cool thing. We should all email Fox Next and tell them we think that Shara, the War Queen Shara, demands Rogue, and here's what we think. We think you should have this kit. Not gonna get Deadpool. That, however, you know what? I just told everyone I'm not opening these yet, so I'm gonna hold this. In the offers, I just saw something. So obviously, for those of you who don't know, who are new to the game, they have this offer for $25. My personal feelings on this offer: I don't need Cap, I don't need Black Widow, I don't need Hawkeye. Quake is fine. I don't really need her, but it's fine. I want Yo-Yo. I'm not okay with this price point just for Yo-Yo, but if you're new to the game, this is great. This is a really good offer to pick up. It's a shield team, technically. This is to help you unlock Iron Man if you haven't done so. But on top of it, you've got some interesting flex here because you've got two Inhumans that are not just usable on a shield team, but are usable on an Inhumans team with Black Bolt if you have him, or if you're planning to get him, and offer some interesting synergy. So this is a really good starting out offer. Let's see what else. I just saw the Deadpool offer. I don't need Deadpool, I have him at 7 stars. But if you want him, if you're building an X-Force team for $2 for 50 shards, that's actually a good deal. Now, I'm not suggesting anyone needs to spend money on this game. You can certainly go free to play. I'm largely free to play. I'll cave sometimes. Like when Cyclops came out, I spent the money to get Cyclops because he's one of my favorite characters from the comic books. But if you're going to spend the money, I'm a believer in trying to be as efficient as possible and get the best value. 50 shards for $2 is a good value. So just because I saw that, I figured I'd give a shout out to anyone who's thinking about it or trying to put together an X-Force team. That's a good value. Let's see if there's anything else. This stuff's all okay. None of it screams at me. No. Let's see. Shara says, you Americans have probably never heard of Alpha Flight, but I think they need to add a couple characters from that comic, like my favorite Snowbird. I love that they call it Shooting McStab Face offer for Deadpool. Yes. Jar Jar says, pack of shame. I like it. Yeah, so that's my thought on that. Nothing else jumped out to me. I wouldn't recommend spending money on anything else, but if you want that, it's good. New war season, yay! Speaking of war, I'll show you guys my... Does anyone want to see my war defense? I'm happy to walk through that with you guys and sort of my thinking. Shara says, although Wolverine was an Alpha Flight. You're not wrong, Shara, and that would actually be interesting. I'm not saying that I think they're coming, because sadly I don't see that happening. There's a lot of more marquee characters that are going to be coming before them, but Bert says I bought it just because LOL figured it shaved off a month at least. You're not wrong. For newer players who need those shards and can use all those characters, that is a good deal. That 100 of each of those characters is a really good deal. We'll jump into the Alliance War here. Trade secrets. No, I'm just kidding. We want to see everyone do well here. We like good competition. We like people who put up a fight in Alliance War, so I'm not worried about it. We're going to set defense. I will not show you everyone, but I'm just going to focus on me down here. I'm assigned to the bridge as one of the people with higher team power. We're going to look at me here. So I've got a Hydra team. It's not terribly high power, but for those of you who know, the Hydra team with Red Skull is amazing. It's so good. Red Skull's kit, if he's got 4 non-summoned Hydra minions on war defense specifically, each living minion gives him 25% damage reduction, which means, you can quickly do the math, 100% damage reduction. He cannot take damage until you kill at least 1 minion. Here's the problem. If he spawns in and has at least 1 other non-summon minion, he gets 8 stacks. And whenever a minion dies, he loses He loses a charge and revives that minion at significant health. So you have to kill, collectively, a total of 8 of these before killing one of them will stick. Super strong defense team. Even if they can defeat that engine, often they will time out first. So you're forcing people, the strategy here is you're forcing people to spend their war energy to do this. Huge, huge. I also have my Asgardians here on war defense, which makes sense. They get specific bonuses for war defense. Really strong team, solid team. You have to basically, with the exception of very few team comps, you have to punch down. So you're eating up a really high power team to get through that on the deck. VRAL says, plus you unlock Iron Man. Yes, so correct. That's one of the main drivers here, is to help people rapidly unlock a legendary character by giving them shield. Then I've got some I'm calling them throwaway teams in the middle. Yes, I know technically Fantastic Four with Namor is technically a war team, but for me they're a throwaway team. I haven't really focused much on them. I've been focusing elsewhere. This team is a throwaway team just to put people on defense. Dark Ice Wave, Iron Man is the baloney of the legendaries though. Alright, so yes and no, Dark Ice. Iron Man alone is underwhelming. I will give you that. 100% Iron Man alone is underwhelming. But Power Armor is a great arena team. They're a great war team as a result. They have huge, huge alpha potential to wipe people out. So, Iron Man alone, throwaway, yes. Important to the Power Armor team, I'd say yes. Not the linchpin, certainly. I think War Machine is the linchpin. Dark Eye says Ironheart or Vision. So, I'm kind of torn. I'm not going to lie. So, I typically used Vision for a long, long time. And I like Vision's kit. And I like how he synergizes with Power Armor. Ironheart's abilities are I like her defense down. Useful. Although, as anyone who was here earlier when I did that one Blitz fight Power Armor versus Power Armor, we lost because they... Rescue will cleanse the defense down. But her defense down is nice, especially because you may not know this, using this Hydra team as an example. One way to get around this engine is to put defense down on Red Skull, because then he will take damage. Because he gets 100% damage reduction unless you reduce his defense, and then you can actually hit him. So that's actually important. So, Ironheart does get the defense down, which is nice, but really the only reason you're using her, in my opinion, is for her passive and what she gives to the team. She increases their health, and she increases their defense, their armor, which is nice. I'm torn. I'm currently using her to give her a fair shake. In Arena and War, I find that I like Vision better, because Vision gets the buff clear on enemies that goes off before War Machine pops off with his AoE that can realistically board wipe. But in War, Ironheart gets a little bit of additional boost, so I'm thinking that ultimately I may settle into a place where I use Vision Power Armor team for Arena, and I use Ironheart Power Armor team for War. So, it's a nuanced answer. The answer is both in specific applications. I see a couple people have joined the stream. Welcome. I'm Thunderbrawl. And right now we're going through war defense strategy. We just did some raiding before, and we're just talking about stuff. Bert says, I sent you a friend request on Discord. Bert, I will accept that friend request when I am done with the stream for sure. Dark Ice, both of mine are level 1. I'm low on resources, leaning towards Ironheart for now. So, Dark Ice, I don't want to steer you wrong, but if you want my advice, I would say you're probably better off, if they're both brand new basically, you're better off focusing Vision only because Ironheart is specialized for a power armor team. She really has very little usefulness outside of that. Vision actually is usable on a number of different tech teams. So by leveling up Vision, he's very useful on your power armor team, but he's also useful on other teams as well. So that's sort of my answer. So I would go Vision, certainly, if I were in your shoes. Moving on through our war defense here, I do have a supernatural team. Part of the reason for that is I was looking for a mid-power team to take up a war defense slot that I wasn't going to miss on war offense, because obviously war is about resource management of your roster. So I didn't want to lose a high-power team that I could attack with. This is a good team that I think excels more on defense than offense because of the retribution mechanic on the supernatural team. Then I've got a 184k power shield team. Again, mid-tier strong team. Just slows people down. And then if they make it through all those teams, at the back end we've got Wakanda here. Which Wakanda is more of a strong raid team than they are a war team, but decent power. And again, it's just about, by the time they get to the bridge, they've probably used up a lot of the resources. You're just hoping that they don't have anything strong enough to punch through. And then I've got an Ultron sort of mixed comp team here. Kingpin's a throwaway. I think I'm going to swap him for somebody eventually, but decent power team. Strong characters in the form of Captain Marvel, Minerva, and Ultron, and Thanos is good too. Obviously, he's not as good as he is empowered on a Black Order team, but he's a solid option, and it leaves me most of my really high-power teams for offense and surgically clearing rooms on the enemy's carrier. So that's my war defense situation. Oh, you know what I should show you guys our tier. It's probably worth showing you guys. Because when I first started the stream today, we were just coming off a loss in war, but I still got a lot of rewards. So part of that is for the league info, and this is why joining a strong alliance makes a big difference. So we're Gold 2. Gold 2's rewards are awesome. On a win, you get this, but on a defeat, you still get this. This is huge, right? This gets you a gold gear orb, which is great. Right there, done. You get plenty of war tickets to use for unlocking people like Sif. Great for the Asgardians team. That's who I'm going for now. And of course, your rewards per knockout are huge also. So you really generate a lot of tickets. You generate good gold. You get the T4 ability material. Being an alliance that has a higher overall league ranking is huge. Really important. Oh, that's also something worth noting. So you saw we were doing the ward before. I forgot to mention this. They've added difficulties, so we're grinding Ultima 6 on difficulty 4. We've cleared difficulty 5 to 60%, but it requires a lot more resource expenditure for us to do that regularly, and we'd rather save those resources for Ultima 7. So we made a collective decision, the captains of the Alliance, that we're just going to grind Ultimus 6 at difficulty 4 in between our Ultima 7 attempts. Which we are now regularly clearing 30% on Ultima 7 standard difficulty. But for us to push farther, we need to wait for some of our lower power members to catch up. So that's that. What else do we have here? objectives. We could do another arena fight. I have to do that for my daily, so why don't we go ahead and do that. Arena. I'm actually going to leave it up to you guys who you want to see me challenge. And actually, yeah, that's fine. I think this is an attainable team, but if you guys want me to challenge one of the others, that's fine. Any input? Should we go dinner, cocktail, or Kiggy? Dinner, cocktail, just that. I can't believe the odds of getting two food-related names next to each other, but here we are. Dinner, cocktail, or Kiggy? Go ahead and put it in the stream chat, and I'll take whatever is the most popular choice. So Bert says Kiggy. Any other choices here? I know I got 18 of you watching. Come on, sound off. Don't be shy. Dark says Kiggy. What about you, Shara? If I hear one more Kiggy, I'm going to go for it. Number 3, that's Kiggy. Alright, we're going to go for it. Kiggy, bam. Who do you guys want me to use? We'll do some options here. We can either challenge with, we'll say X-Men, the Alt 7 team I have, or we could, because we were just talking about it, we could do Power Armor with Vision. One of those 3. If you want X-Men, just type X in chat. If you want Alt 7, put U7 in chat. If you want Power Armor, do PA in chat. So give me an X, a U7, or a PA. We're going to have to actually get back out of it and go back in. Oh. Not enough time. Alright, so you know what? We'll pick a new opponent, but in the meantime, type up what team you want me to challenge with. X, U7, or PA. And that way we'll know going into it who we're going to use. Let's see if I can find them again. Probably not. They've probably been pushed off of it. This is actually a U7 build. Do I have an arena team? So I use a number of teams in arena, but typically I'll use one of those 3 teams, which is why I'm offering them up. Dark Eye says mine is CM Hela BB SSM Phoenix. That's a good combo. If I had Black Bolt, I'd be using him in arena, but I do not have him yet, unfortunately. My Asgardians are not all 5-star yet. That's why I'm working on them. So, like I said, right now I use my X-Men team as an arena team. And I use my Alt 7 team is just a powerful team, so I'll sometimes use that. Although they're harder to use in arena because they're a slower engine team. I spent currently top 5 most arena day payouts. Shara, you've got to go. Enjoy the rest of my Father's Day. Thank you so much, Shara. Thanks for stopping by the stream, and we'll see you again in stream soon and in the Alliance as well. So what do you guys think? Type it in chat. Who should I be using? X for X-Men, U7 for the Alt 7 team, or PA for Power Armor? That's 1 vote for Power Armor. That's another vote for Power Armor. You guys like the Power Armor team, alright. One more vote for power armor, we'll use power armor. Let's look at somebody we haven't heard from for a while. Jar Jar Euron, do you want to see power armor used? About V-Roll. In the interest of moving it along, I think we're going to settle on power armor. Alright, so we're going to jump in. We'll take choice 3 again. And we're going to use our power armor team. We're going to swap Ironheart for Vision. If I can hear you guys. Fine, Vision. V-Roll is concentrating on Blitz. So I'm guessing, V-Roll, you're blitzing hard because you want Ironheart, huh? Okay. We're going to go ahead and barrier the team with Rescue. Let's put a little of adjacent target damage on Phoenix. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use that. We're going to clear stealth here. Or not, I guess, because they have multiple stacks. We got the speed up, which is fine. Oh, the ability block totally is going to mess with the engine. I'm gonna gamble and try not to use that right away. We will clear some buffs with Vision. Deal some damage with Falcon. Ouch. Now that she's Dark Phoenix, we're gonna put some damage on her. We lost Vision, but he really served his purpose already, which was the buff clear. I don't know that we're going to come through this one. What really messed me up was not being able to do the offense up buff with Rescue to then hit hard with War Machine. That's super vital to that going well. Jar Jar says my main arena team is Defenders and is also my team for DD2. Defenders is fine early game, especially if you're newer to the game and you're in a lower shard of overall players. But later in the game, as you level up and stuff, it's not going to be viable. V-Roll says, already have Ironheart, just need to 1 to 2% for shards to get out of 5-star. Just got to 11.5 million. It's a tall order, V-Roll. Getting to 1 to 2% is a big commitment. I hope you do it, man. Definitely. Bert says, I quit Blitz, I can't compete, so I just clear milestones and I stop. Bert, I'm kind of with you, especially if it's not a character that I don't have yet that I really want. I have yet to ever clear 1 to 2%, I just don't put the resources into it to do that, or the time into it to do that. Got raid rewards for the season, that's some good T4 ability material. Dark says, might be 15 mil for 1 to 2%. Will be tough. Honestly, I think that may even be lowball. I know people have been pushing for Ironheart because they've been looking for a potential replacement to Vision, because that moves Vision off the Power Armor team and makes them available to other teams for war and stuff. It might even be in the neighborhood of 20 mil. I know the number one position you're looking at like 21 to 25 mil on average. I mean, I'm rooting for you. I hope you do it. Let us know. Come back and drop a line when all this is over in another stream, and let us know if you got it, because I am curious if you hit it. Certainly. V-Roll says predictions are 12 to 13. Okay. Jar Jar says I have some other teams, but they are the only ones at G13. Yeah, I hear you. Look, you have to use what you have ultimately, right? As I've said, my highest power team is Defenders as a remnant of my earlier days in play when they were the only ones I needed to focus on. And they're still usable. You just saw me use them effectively in Ultimate 6 to breeze through nodes for the city restrictions. So if I had to pick a city team, I mean, that's my go-to city team. So it's still usable, definitely. We're going to be saving those orbs for an event. What do we have here? Raid store. Those are just those orbs. I do have a little bit of gold. I'm deciding whether I should spend it on Asgardians or whether I should put a little more into Hydra for my war defense. What do you guys think? Asgardians or Hydra? What should I spend the 300,000 gold on? Bert says, yes, can't get above this 60%. Most I got was almost 2 mil and spent tons of time, so no difference for me yet. Jar Jar says just use them so I can get Ultron. Yeah, I said it was painful, but I got through Dark Dimension using Defenders. Dark Eyes, quick question. Will aim and Defenders level 65 Gear Tier 10 be okay for Heroes and Vision 7 nodes? So I'm doing the Villain 7 with aim, so I would say yes. Defenders for Heroes? I don't know. That might be tougher. I'm not sure. The Bayou Bandit says spend it on Asgardians. Okay. I am not against that. Let's see what I can do here with that. I can actually level up some of Heimdall's abilities. So let's do that. Bam. Good stuff. Hofun Slash. Bam. Sweet. Dark says I have others for heroes like SSM and GR. That's good. That's good. It's good to have options. Let's see who else we have. Gotta get her to 65. Let's go ahead and do that. Good stuff. And give her this. Get that power slowly up. What are we missing for this? Almost have enough of that, and then I just need to farm these. So let's do a little more gear farming here. We've got the power cores to do it. Jar Jar says, can't even pass Villain 7-1 because my AIM and S6 teams are mad. I mean, I think AIM is a good investment. If you want to put into the AIM team, that's a team that's very usable. Even in Ultimate 7, if your main Ultimate 7 team gets knocked out or something, and you don't want to spend all the resources to heal all of them, you can flex and use an AIM team if they're high enough power. So that's a good team to increase. Dark says, does it matter if you use Monstrosity or Researcher? So that's sort of a tough question. Bayou Bandit says Researcher. Honestly, I think that using Researcher, you lose a lot of damage output on the team. So my AIM 7 team, you know what, let me show you this. Instead of just talking through it, I can show you. So we'll go through Blitz to show you the different teams. Change team. Okay. So, this is my AIM team. Right here. So, we've got Scientist Supreme, non-negotiable on the team. So good. Graviton. If you have him, he should be on the team. He's really strong, and his kit works. You've got Flex for... Oh, and Security. AIM Security should be on the team. AIM Security is super good, synergizes with Scientist Supreme very, very well. You've got flexibility on the other two positions, right? So you've got either Assaulter, you've got the... I can't remember his name. There's Assaulter, Monstrosity, Researcher, and Infector. So the Assaulter is heavy speed based. He shoots often, and it can be useful to focus down an individual character that you need to remove from the enemy team. That's really Assaulter's primary function. For me, it's largely a question of convenience, because Assaulter is the only AIM member I have at 6 red stars. So for me, it was sort of an easy logical choice of just, this is the strongest, the easiest to get strong because he's got all these red stars. So I focused on him as one of my damage components, which left 1 flex here. I don't think Researcher is really necessary on this particular team output, because yes, it gives them more sustain, but it lowers their damage output, and I need them for more damage application. Viral says Infector, yeah. So if you look at the kits for Infector versus Monstrosity, they're not wildly different. Let's look at Infector first, right? Infector has Puncture. Attacks for damage, great. Copy all negative effects on Infector to the enemy, and has a chance to apply a random negative effect. Cool, fine. So remember, that's the big thing, is transfer of effects, right? Biohazard, self-heal, gain counter, give counter to allies. Fine. And then Metabolism, gain speed, gain health, and on turn, gain a negative effect for 2 turns, which matters for pushing over negative effects. And if Infector has negative effects, on their turn, they flip them to positive effects. Fine. So now we're going to look at Monstrosity. Where's my Monstrosity? He is not as powerful. Here he is. Monstrosity. So, Monstrosity, attacks target, 70% chance for defense down. So again, if you compare Monstrosity to Infector, Infector gives a random ability down. Having the defense down is nice to know what it is, because you can plan around it. It's less random, which is part of the element of the AIM team, is this randomness factor. But it's nice to be able to targetedly put defense down on somebody. Dark says, was wondering, Researcher for campaign nodes, want to 3-star them so I can farm. I get that, and that's certainly a possibility. Again, she will give them additional sustain. The problem is, we'll look at her in a minute, because you're going to lose damage, but the question is, does it equal out? Monstrosity's second ability, you attack the opponent. He gets offense up. He gives offense up to AIM allies, and the attack can't miss, which is nice that it can't miss. But comparing it to Infector's ability, I'm going to scroll up and down for a while, bear with me. Compared to the Infector's ability, this is his self-heal, and he gives counter to everyone. That can be nice for interrupting chain attacks, right? Being able to stop a chain attack in its tracks can make a big difference with mitigating damage coming out to your team. Going back to Monstrosity for the last ability, Growth Spurt. On turn, he has a 50% chance to heal for 5% of his max health. Fine. But on spawn, he gains defense down for 2 turns. That's a weird trade-off, because if he gets alpha early, he just gets removed from the battlefield. And only having... I mean, at max level, he does automatically heal always, and it's for 10% of his max health. You'd have to run the numbers to know for sure if that ends up being a more consistent heal or a higher heal than Infector's heal. But again, part of it also boils down to convenience and star rank and stuff. It will require a lot more resources for me to get Monstrosity up, so that's why I don't level him up. But we can look at Researcher next. Graviton with Assaulter and Monstrosity, either side is a no-brainer for me. Speed up from Assaulter and offense up from Monstrosity just does too much damage. You're not wrong, V-Roll. Factoring in the synergy with Graviton does matter. If I happen to get lucky with more shards of Monstrosity, I may in fact make that decision ultimately. And I'm not gonna lie, I've really thought about it. I've really thought recently, especially. See, right now I'm trying to save my gold for his Guardians and stuff, but I have the potential to start leveling him up, getting him to 6 stars and pushing up his power. But right now I already have Infector up. The other question is Researcher. Let's take a look at Researcher quick. Alright, Researcher. So, Researcher's basic attack, offense down, fine, nice. You know, it's reasonable, and it's an okay basic shot. Her heal ability heals the lowest health ally and adjacent, which is nice that it's more than just a single target heal for percentage of her max health. And there's a 50% chance to flip bleed on the lowest health ally and adjacent. Not bad. Not bad. That's a pretty good heal. And then her passive ability, on turn there's a 10% chance to choose a random ally and apply one of the random positive effects. And if the ally's aimed, then you apply 2 random positive effects. That's all well and good. I'm not super impressed by that passive ability, especially when factoring in the passive abilities of the offensive characters and the differential in their damage output. For me, I much prefer the damage output because Scientist Supreme is such a strong support element already. I don't know that you need more than that. The extra speed, the max health, and the ability to automatically flip debuffs to buffs for Infector, I think, is better. And for the Monstrosity, I think the healing every turn is potentially better. But that's just a personal opinion. What I will say is I don't think you can make a wrong choice here. Like there's some teams where the answer is if you don't do X, Y, or Z, you're giving up a lot of damage. So, like, I think an incorrect choice would be not including Graviton if you have him at a decent power, would be not including Scientist Supreme, or not including Aim Security. As long as you have those 3, I can't say that I feel like there's a wrong answer for the remaining 2 spots, in my opinion. I think those are flex spots, definitely. So where were we here? We got some milestones, so we'll collect that. Come on. Oh, I remember what we were doing. We were leveling up Sif, I think. Where is she? Where are you hiding, Sif? Here we are. Yes. Doing some material farming here. So we only need 1 more. Let's... Nice, we got that. And then we just need our catalysts. We only need 1 of those. Perfect. Nice. And we already have some stuff for her, which is great. Unless I was saving that. Let me just make sure I wasn't saving that for somebody. He doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. She needs the same thing that Thor does, of course. I think I'm good to put that on her. He needs that. Alright, yeah, I'm going to throw that on Sif for sure. Nice. Let's now switch to starting to farm stuff for Loki. Awesome. Progress is progress. That's something I try to embrace with this game. Progress is progress. Can go ahead and open the orange gear orb. Let's see what we get. Fine. I can live with that. You know what? Let's go ahead. I'll show you guys a node with the Dark Dimension doing the Alt 7 team. With the exception that I don't have... Oh no, I can use Hela. But I think I wasn't because I wanted the extra sustain. Because these fights last forever, and I think that was more valuable to me of just keeping everyone alive. But... do I want the extra damage? I think I'd rather keep everyone alive. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. And after this node, I think I'm actually going to wrap up this stream. This has been an awesome stream. Very thankful to all our new followers, and you guys are awesome. Yeah, this will be a nice little two-hour stream. 2 hours is a nice little wrap-up time. I am going to be working on getting the schedule up so that you guys will know when to tune in for Ultima 7 and things like that. It's probably going to be Saturday evening, likely, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. And then also I'll be listing when I'm going to do things like stream DSA and things like that. And we're just going to go ahead and auto this, because otherwise this will be a little tedious to go through. Again, when I auto these, the most I'll do when I auto these is I'll select targets. But even right now it doesn't matter. It's just about putting damage on them. And again, this is my third clear of DD2. This team is just so hard to kill. While I wait, I'm gonna accept some of those friend requests that came through. Get a couple of them. Alright, yeah, let's accept those friend requests for sure. Welcome new friends. We also have a Discord server for Paleo Gaming, so anyone who wants to join in and just talk about the games and stuff, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and post that in the stream chat. We welcome anyone in the community. This isn't necessarily directly related to our Strike Force Alliance. That's a separate thing. That's Rage Kick Incorporated, which whenever we have positions up, I'll mention it if anyone wants to join. And you can always reach out to me if you want to separately. But Paleo Gaming is a gaming community. We play a ton of different games together. You'll start to notice people, if you watch the stream more often, you'll start to notice people who pop up in the Discord from the stream and stuff. So anyone who plays any of the games we play, Dead by Daylight, The Isle, any of these mobile games, Paleo Gaming, clans, servers, community stuff, we have a lot of stuff around. So you can join that the Discord channel if you like as well, and just make some new friends, which is cool. These DD nodes are such a slow clear. Just gonna enjoy my coffee here. Dark Eyes, thanks for the follow. How does the stream look, guys? Bitrate wise and stuff. Is it a little choppy or does it look good? I think the end of the stream is a good opportunity to just sort of check in with everybody as to how it's all looking in case I have to make any adjustments or anything. Yeah, I'm glad it looks good. I wasn't expecting any issue because this is not a particularly demanding game. Playing on PC since it is designed more for mobile play. But I do stream The Isle, and that's a very intensive game, so I'm constantly worried about frame rate and stuff. Doesn't drag at all. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it. Jar Jar, bro. Thanks for weighing in. You guys have been awesome to hang out with. Enjoying it. So how did you guys find the stream? Was it because Sen Raven rated it, or did you guys just find it? Yeah, the raid. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to thank him. I'm gonna go on and follow him too. Followed Sen back. That's awesome. Just sort of fell in my lap, huh? I like it. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. That's awesome. So what does Sen typically stream? I'm glad that you're glad, Bert. That's good. Are you potentially interested in seeing some other games too, or are you guys more just here for MSF? 21 Doom says Marvel Strike Force. Alright, sounds good. MSF and DSA says Jar Jar. Sure. I'm gonna make notes about what you guys like the most, for sure. MSF, alright. Okay. Steam Raider. I'm not familiar with Steam Raider. What is that? Also, I'm gonna likely have to, if during the week if I stream, it's usually gonna be in the evenings because of, you know, day job and all that stuff. But on the weekends I'll have some flexibility. What time would you guys prefer to see more streams for MSF? Do you prefer more evening streams? Do you prefer more afternoon streams? When do you guys prefer to watch that kind of stuff? Aw, thank you, V-Raw. I try to be entertaining. You just have Twitch open while you work again. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I honestly, if you find me entertaining now, I think you'll find me entertaining when I play Dead by Daylight, mostly because I just overreact constantly to being hunted by monsters, so that's, that will entertain you, I think. Mobile Gamers on from 4 PM to whenever, so anytime it's good for me. Cool. Nice. I like it. Yeah, so like I said, primarily I'm going to be mostly an evening streamer. MSF is definitely going to be part of my main roster. Expect a Saturday, late afternoon to evening stream for Alt 7. And then probably once per week in addition to that. I'll add one day a week for DSA and go from there. Travis says, yay! Yeah. DSA, I primarily play Frozen because Sven is the most badass character in the game as far as I'm concerned. We're clearing it. It's slow, but we're clearing it. I mean, this is a solid team. If you have these characters high enough, this team is a very solid clear. Obviously, not all of you will have Ultimates at 7 stars to get through DD2, so if it's your first time through, you can't use him. But if you have Scientist Supreme, if you have Minerva, if you have Shuri, if you have Mantis, and then one strong primary damage dealer, you could use a Hela there, you could use Captain Marvel there. You will clear it. These support characters will keep your primary damage dealer up and you will just slowly grind through it. And none of these nodes will really hold up against you. Hold on 1 second, guys. I just gotta mute 1 second. The wife needs me for a second here. Sorry about that, guys. Your team in DSA so far is Sully, Sorcerer Mickey, Ariel, Aladdin, and the Rabbit. I'm trying to remember which rabbit you're talking about. Why am I totally blanking on this? What character is that? You know what? I have to open the game now because I don't even know what you're talking about. Hops! Oh, okay. Cool, cool. I'm on board. I'm on board now. I'm good. Can't wait till you get Star-Lord at 6 stars this week. Let me know if that spot comes open. I'm interested. Sure. Definitely, Bert. I will let you know. For sure. Maybe I'll make, like, an announcement or something. Joker Cat, thanks for the follow. Glad to have you here. Hoping to get him 7-star this time around. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy is... I wouldn't call them a top-tier team anymore. But they're still a really solid mid-tier team. They're a great addition to use to challenge rooms in war, and you can use them with Mantis. You can use them realistically in Raid. They're one of my fallback teams if my main team gets wiped out. And what's nice about them is they're one of the... Here's what I like about Guardians. I like Guardians of the Galaxy because it's the only team I can think of where the characters you need to get your legendary for the team are all synergistic characters with that legendary. With the caveat that you're not using Yondu or something like that. All of the characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy are farmable to get Star-Lord. So you can level up your Rocket through raid tickets, you can level up your Groot, you can level up Drax, you know, from Arena, you can level up Mantis and Gamora, and then get Star-Lord, and now your legendary directly synergizes with those Guardians. Most of the other legendaries, you need to level up a team that are synergistic together with each other, but that they're then getting a legendary that has no connection to that team, which I understand the business decision behind it, but I don't love that about the game. Bert says I am looking really for BKT. Okay. Yeah, the BKT team I know is popular, but you've got some flexibility on that team too. I don't know. It's a good team. I'm not gonna knock it. It's not my flavor, but it's a good team. It is a good team. You think it will improve your arena? Absolutely. You're not wrong. It's a good arena team. I mean, really, it's a good all-around team. That's a good raid team to have, too. One of our goals with our alliance, we like to give our players as much flexibility as possible, so we don't have any force farming for specific characters. But we did release a guide for Alt 7 before we started doing it about viable teams people should go for. And while a lot of the characters that are on the BKT team are not necessarily in the top teams we were suggesting. They were all suitable, replacements that you could use for certain characters. So, in theory, you could use them all as replacements and rebuild that team. I think that you can build a solid Ult 7 team out of Scientist Supreme, Minerva, Star-Lord. You could use Rocket and Groot. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say it's your best option. I think you have better options. But as far as viability, if you're building that team for other things like Arena, I think it's usable. I think it's a usable team. Especially if you hit that sweet spot of 330k power plus, I think it's a usable, viable team. Minerva and Scientist Supreme will provide enough sustain, and Star-Lord... What I would do is, rather than put Star-Lord next to Rocket, which you typically do in a pocket, I would put Star-Lord next to Minerva, and feed Minerva energy for that percent health damage and heal and stuff. Bert says, as soon as Star-Lord is upgraded... I'm not sure, I may be misreading that. As soon as Star-Lord is upgraded to us as Minerva? Oh, you're going to focus Minerva next. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Minerva should be your next focus. Well, I actually... The stream is going on over 2¼ hours, and my wife is getting hungry for dinner, so... I am going to have to end this stream here as we just continue to grind through DD2. I think you guys at this point can see that this node will be cleared. Like I said, I will be getting a schedule up. I really hope that you guys come back for the next stream and I start to see you guys more often in chat and stuff. I hope you guys have a really great Sunday, and if any of you are celebrating Father's Day, I hope you have a great Father's Day. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks again for the follows and showing up today. And yeah, join the Discord channel too if you guys want to. That's definitely something you should do. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. And good luck on all your characters and stuff. I can't wait for you guys to tell me how they're doing for you in the coming weeks.